As you're watching this video, as you hear my voice, you just stumbled on a little-known secret you can use to make $300, $500, even as much as $1,500 in just 1 hour's time, day in, day out, like clockwork. Want to see some proof? Meet Molly. Now, Molly brings in an average of $360 per day with this one secret I'm revealing to you now as I speak. And this is Keith. He pulls in $700 every day, again. And Linda rakes in an incredible steady $1,000 almost every single day of the week with the same secret I'm revealing to you right this very second. A secret that's hidden in plain sight, right here, right now. Have you figured it out yet? Hi, my name's Jenny Lewis, and in the next 3 minutes, I'm going to share with you a little-known way to generating a meaningful side income from home using nothing but you and your laptop. The best part? You get to work part-time, working your own hours. You get to do it from home, and in fact, yes, you get to make this kind of money sitting right there in your pajamas. I know, right? You've probably seen all kinds of web pages promising you extra money from home, offering the guilty pleasure of staying in your pajamas all day. Heck, maybe you've tried one of those right-from-home opportunities or filled out dozens of surveys in the hope that you can make some extra income. Yet, if you're anything like I was, all you got was a little more than couch money, if you were lucky, for your efforts. I was just like you. That's why I'm letting you in on something that is real, something that's in sky-high demand right now. A demand, by the way, that is getting bigger and bigger by the day. People all over the world are using this secret for as little as an hour a day to make a part-time, and in some cases, full-time income. Imagine being able to take your family on luxury vacations every year. Imagine never having to worry about bills when you open your mailbox. And imagine having that extra padding in your bank account. You know what I'm talking about. Enough money safely tucked away so you don't ever feel anxious, worried, or lack for anything ever again. Believe me, this is all possible when you watch this video and do what I show you. Now, before I reveal the secret in 3 minutes from now, let me share a quick story with you about how I stumbled over this. Because candidly, it's only thanks to personal humiliation, utter failure, and the near breakup of my marriage that I'm even here to share this with you today. You see, it all started when I found a work-from-home opportunity online. I'm sure you've seen the type. This one offered tantalizing promises of fast, easy cash. How? By filling out a few surveys. Yeah, that's it. What could be more convenient for a stay-at-home mom? Yet, even as my credit card hovered over my keyboard, I had this nagging feeling it was too good to be true. Still, I figured, what the heck, it's only $30. Let's give it a try. I can still remember my excitement as I downloaded the course. Making money by filling in just a few forms seemed perfect to me. After all, you can do it when you want. There's no boss breathing down your neck. And the more you fill in, the more money you make, right? Anyway, I followed the instructions, read the manual, watched the video, and almost immediately felt a sense of crushing disappointment. The information was all about signing up for free trials of different services and then recommending them to your friends. You only got paid if your friends signed up for them too. Needless to say, that was not what I was expecting. And the few surveys I could see were more like prize draws where there's no guarantee of getting paid. Yet still I got to work. I was determined to make this pay off somehow. So I did everything I was supposed to do. Signed up to dozens of different sites, filled in a gigantic pile of surveys, free trials, and other offers, nearly gave myself repetitive strain injury in the process, and worst of all, raked in a whopping $3.62. I couldn't believe it. I was so discouraged, felt let down, cheated. What a ripoff. How could they get away with promising such lies? I did everything they told me, and all I ended up with was a lighter purse and a sore wrist. However, I wasn't going to give up that easily. You see, I'm a stay-at-home mom. My 2 kids are my life, and although my husband has a steady job, it can be a struggle getting by on a bookkeeper's salary. I was so eager to get some extra cash to pay bills and pay for groceries and maybe, treat my family once in a while. I tried all kinds of things. Getting paid for data entry, getting paid for Google ads, getting paid for mystery shopping, getting paid for writing books for Kindle, yet I didn't really get paid for any of them. I felt let down, discouraged, angry, frustrated, ready to throw in the towel and resign myself to, quote, get a real job. All I wanted to do was earn a little extra money each month to pay for the kids' shoes, to be able to take them out for dinner once in a while. Nothing too extravagant. all totaled up, I probably spent over $1,000 on things that didn't work out. Then, just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, my husband and I had our first nasty fight. Of course, it was over money. Our daughter was playing in the backyard one day with her friends and she fell. Blood was everywhere. I rushed her to the emergency room. She ended up with a bad concussion and, along with 20 stitches, the doctors kept her for 2 days to monitor her. A medical bill pops into our mailbox. I wanted to hide it away somewhere, but my husband saw it first. The bill came to $11,550.27. Even though we had health insurance, we still had to pay the deductible, which was $10,000. $10,000 we didn't have. "Jenny, I think it might be time to start looking for a job," my husband Dave said. Oh, my heart sank. Call me selfish, but I really didn't want to have to go back to work, back to that corporate jungle. I wanted to spend time with my kids, be there when they needed me the most, and watch them as they grow up. The early years are so special. I couldn't bear to hand them over to daycare while my husband and I worked our tails off in jobs we hated. We got into this huge fight. That night, I cried myself to sleep. Dave slept in his office in the basement. I'd failed at making money from home, and I didn't want to go back to work. We were saddled with an unpayable debt, and Dave was angry at me. I didn't know what to do. For the next several days, I got silent treatment from Dave. However, at my lowest point, I saw a glimmer of hope. Real hope. A few days later, at a morning coffee for local moms, Faye, a friend of mine, was excitedly waving around a sheet of paper. "You guys didn't believe me, so I brought the proof," she said. Turned out the sheet of paper was her PayPal statement. Intrigued, I walked over and asked her what all the fuss was about. She looked at me with a big smile. "Jenny," she said, "you're just the person I want to talk to. You know how you tried all those different things on the internet to make some extra cash?" I nodded, suddenly feeling ashamed of all my failures. It was well known among all my friends I'd been trying for so long and never really achieved anything. "Well," she went on, "check this out." And Faye showed me the PayPal statement. I had to step back a little to focus, but what I saw astonished me. A list of different payments. $300, $500, even $1,000, direct into her PayPal account. "That's great," I said. I'm feeling more than a little jealous. "So where is all this coming from?" I heard the ladies around me suddenly fall silent as they waited for her answer. "You wouldn't believe me if I told you," she said. "All I have to do to make this kind of money is read a short script into my computer." Well, at first, I thought Faye was making fun of me, laughing at me because of all my failed attempts to make extra income. Yet, as I interrogated her a little more, it began to dawn on me Faye may just have tripped over a legitimate way to make extra money from home. Remember, I was still stinging from all those other opportunities I'd tried. My BS detector was sharp and alert. Yet, my family still needed that extra cash, and I had this weird feeling Faye was onto something. For the rest of that coffee morning, she explained everything to me. Here's what she does every day to generate between $300 and $1,000 practically on demand. Faye logs into several websites online, and there she browses various offers. Offers from people and companies all over the world willing to pay cash in exchange for her to read and record words from a script. Sometimes it's just a few sentences. Other times it's a long 40-minute presentation, and she actually gets paid accordingly. Amazingly, it's as simple as it sounds. The entire method boils down to Faye simply reading from a script and getting paid to do it. Well, I couldn't believe it. The first thing that hit me is Faye's voice, and I hope she won't mind me saying this, but it's not exactly velvet smooth. Definitely not like a voice you'd hear on a TV advertisement, for example. Her voice is a little husky. She stumbles over words, she makes mistakes all the time, but you see, she said none of that matters. It all depends on the needs of each opportunity. It turns out there is a huge demand for all kinds of different voices. Incredibly, the more unique your voice, the more unusual it sounds, the more you get paid. I asked Faye if she'd tell me the name of one of the websites she uses. I wanted to give it a try for myself. She said, "Sure, there's more opportunity than I can ever get around to." That morning after coffee, I rushed home. Couldn't wait to get started. Even though I wasn't sure my voice would be up to par, I was eager to try. So I quickly signed up to the main site Faye recommended. All it took was a name and email address, and I couldn't believe what I saw. Dozens upon dozens of requests for voice work. TV commercials, web presentations, radio jingles, and even video game characters, all willing to pay between $100 and $1,500. Could it be this easy? I started to feel those familiar doubts. Sure, this may work out for Faye, but who would pay me for my voice? But I had nothing to lose. I picked a job offer, read out the short sample they requested, and waited. Later that afternoon, I heard a ping on my smartphone. My heart jumped. It was an email from the website. It simply read, "You've been selected," and asked me to log in for details. My mind started to race. Was this it? Was this the breakthrough I so desperately wanted? Had they really chosen little old me out of everybody? But there it was, a message outlining what I needed to do, and the best part, asking how I would like to be paid. I was over the moon. So I quickly read the script they gave me into my laptop. They even showed me free software I could use to record it. Listening back to my first recording, I was speaking too fast. It was almost garbled. I was too excited. So I did it again, and this time I nailed it. Uploaded the file to the members area of the website, and just a few minutes later, $250 landed in my PayPal account. I could barely believe it. This was the breakthrough. This proof was all I needed. One simple $250 payment told me the sky's the limit. From that moment on, I was hooked. Each morning, after dropping the kids off at school, I'd race home to log on to my various accounts. And each morning, I'd feel an adrenaline rush at all the opportunities offered. I was recording scripts for video game characters, how-to videos, short advertisements. The variety was almost infinite. Now, not everything is a fit, but please understand, there's demand for every type of voice out there. Accents, different languages, deep voices, squeaky voices. And when you find a few vendors who love your voice, it can mean consistent, near endless amounts of work, opportunities, and an ever-increasing flow of income. Pretty soon, my friends started to ask me questions. They all wanted to know how I was making all this extra cash from home. I realized there are so many opportunities, so much work and money to go around. This really could be the answer for stay-at-home moms all over the world. Let's face it, so many of us moms have tried blogging, surveys, writing articles for cash. And what have we got for our efforts? Nothing. Maybe a few bucks here and there, but not a real income we can depend on. That's why I want to make a difference. I believe there's a whole lot of stay-at-home moms and dads who could use the extra cash each month, who would love to take the heat off and not worry about bills, or being able to afford vacations, or struggling to get through Christmas without emptying their bank account. Folks for whom a few hundred, if not a few thousand, extra dollars each month would be a total game changer. So I've decided to pour everything I learned as a full-time voice provider, earning thousands of dollars from home in just a few hours each week, into a complete program anyone can pick up and start using straight away to earn the income, the freedom, the life you desire and deserve. This voice you hear, these words I'm speaking to you, I get paid to do jobs just like this one. In fact, my voiceover income is what made me realize I could create courses for people like you. You too can read scripts just like this one and get paid handsomely to the tune of $500, $1,000, even $1,500 for less than an hour's work. Here's the really cool part. It doesn't matter if you think you don't have a good enough voice. And it doesn't matter if you have zero training or voice talent. There is a huge demand out there for natural voices, unusual voices, voices of all types, timbre, and tonalities. And the opportunities are endless. I'm talking about movie trailers, advertisements, presentations like this one, radio, corporate videos, audiobooks. Listen to this.
I make major income with my voice.
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 See how different all those voices are? However you sound, there's a demand for your voice. Thanks to the